Hello and welcome to another video, and in this session we will learn how to work with long documents. What is a long document? It's basically any document in Microsoft Word that has more than, let's say, 5 pages, 10 pages. So basically we'll create a document and we'll also format it to give it a professional look. I'm going to create a blank document. Okay, now we're not going to type anything, so what I'll do right now is I'll just create the text very quickly. So this is a command if you want to create a random paragraph, or let's say I want to create 5 paragraphs and each paragraph should have 2 sentences. Press enter and there you go. Okay, so we take this one as chapter 1 and I'll call this, let me give a few names to this one. Let me call this chapter 1, and I'll give some subtopics. I'll press enter again, and introduction maybe. Okay, there you go. And I'll give another subtopic and I'll call this one themes. Okay, now let me create another page as my second chapter, and again, to create a new page, go to where you want to have a page break, click on insert, and within insert you have page break, and again we'll create another chapter over here very quickly at random equal to rand, open the bracket. Let's say I want to have 6 paragraphs and each paragraph should have, let's say, 5 lines. Close it, press enter, and there you go. Press enter again, and let's call this chapter 2. Okay, and video creation. Okay, this is just a random topic that I'm giving, and let's create another one over here. We'll call this video benefits. Okay. Okay, now once we have done this, and let's say I would like to change the font for the whole document. Okay, one way of doing it is you go ahead and say press the control key, hold it down, click A or press A, and everything is selected. Okay, and now what you can do is you can just go ahead and change the font to maybe Arial or size to 12. Okay, another way of doing the same thing is you go right to the top from where you want to change where you want to select your text. Go all the way down, come right at the end, press the shift key, hold it down, and press the left mouse button, and everything is now selected. Okay, let me do it again for this one. From the beginning, click here, all the way down, come right at the end, press the shift key and press the left button of the mouse, and now hopefully everything should be selected. There you go, everything is selected. And now what you can do is you can just change the font, make it bigger or smaller. I'll leave it as 11 and I'll change the font name to maybe Times New Roman. Since I've selected everything, and what I also want to do is change the paragraph settings, and I would like to have this as double. Okay, and I would also like to justify my paragraph. What is justify? Justify basically means it should be straight from left and straight from right. Right now it's not showing me that. So what I need to do is, again, I can press Control and A, select everything, and then all my paragraphs should be justified. There you go. Now it's all straight from left and straight from right. Okay, now since this is done, let me just go ahead and check. That looks just fine. Next, what we want to do is we want to enter or create a cover page. To insert a cover page, go into insert. Within insert you have cover page. Click on cover page and select any cover page that you like. Let's say, for example, I would like to have this one. whenever it inserts a cover page, it always inserts it right at as the first page in your document. Okay, so no matter where your mouse is, it will always insert the cover page on the top as your first page. If you do not like the image, you can click on the image, right click, and you can say you can go ahead and change the picture from the device or any stock image that you like. Okay, let's say I would like to have something from the online sources. It'll take a while, and over here, let's say I want to select a bird, for example. I'll select this one, for example, or maybe this one. I'll insert it, and it'll take a few seconds, and it'll replace the image. Computer is a bit slow. Okay, what you can also do is, and now you have to fill in these blank fields. Let's say we want to change the name of the document. Okay, there's some issue with the picture, so I'll just do undo. Let me go ahead and change the name of the document. Okay, now by default, everything that you type in will come as capital. That's the format of this title. Okay, so if you want, you can just go ahead and change it. Over here, I'm going to say this is my subtitle, MS Word report, Word document. Okay, if you have an abstract, you can just click over here and you can just type in your abstract. This is my first abstract. Okay, and over here, that's your course. If you want, you can type in your course, or you can maybe type in the date. Okay, we can type in the date. If you do not want to have this as a field, you have to click on the course, okay, and then you press delete, and it goes away. Okay, anything you do not want on the screen, let's say I want to get rid of the abstract, so you click on the field, and then you press backspace or delete, and it should go away. Okay. Let me go ahead and remove this as well, and over here I could say KAKHDR. Okay, let me just fix this. Right click, just go to write in document. Okay, so the cover page is done. Now once you insert a cover page and you try to renumber the pages, it will not allow you to do that. So if you go into insert, within insert you have page numbers, within page numbers you have format page numbers. Now if you try to change the sequence, okay, let's say I want to change it from 0. I want to make this one as page 0. I want to make my cover page as page 0, my second page as page number 1. I'm trying to do that manually. I'll say okay. If I come back inside again, it will always show you as number 1. Why? Because once you insert a cover page of Microsoft Word, it understands that and it will do the renumbering for you. So you don't have to worry about the renumbering of the pages. What's also done is, if you go into the layout, within layout you have page setup, and within page setup you have layout, and within layout it will always make this as a different first page. If you create your own cover page, you will have to do these 2 steps yourself. First step is you have to make that the first page as a different first page, and you have to go back within insert, you go into page numbers, and then you have to renumber it. But since we have inserted the cover page using the Microsoft Insert feature, it does these 2 steps for us. Okay, now let's insert let me just magnify this so that it's easy for us to read. So I'm going to insert a footnote. Remember, a footnote is inserted if you want to give some technical an explanation to a technical word, or you want to give a reference or something like that. So I'm going to say click over here to insert a footnote, click right after the word, click on references. Within references you have insert footnote, As soon as you insert footnote, it'll take you to the footnote. It'll also give you a number. Okay, that's where it's starting from. And I'll just call this Intro to MS Word. Okay. If you go back, if you double click this one, this number, and if you hover your mouse, it'll show you your footnote. Again, if I insert one over here, this one will become number 2, and that will become right after chapter 1. Let me do it again. References, insert a footnote, and this is another one. Okay. And it automatically renumbers the footnotes for you. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, these special marks that you see, these special characters that you see, that is basically something called show and hide. Anywhere you press, for example, an enter, this is the mark you get. This is called a paragraph mark. If you press a tab, that's a tab. Okay, if you press some spaces, okay, this is just for you to know what you have on the screen. Okay, let me just highlight and delete these. We don't need it right now. Okay, let's go on. Let's also insert a page number. We'll go into insert. Within insert we have page numbers, and we would like to have it at the bottom of the page, and the format I usually use and recommend is X of Y. Okay, this is page of X of Y. It'll X basically is your current page and Y is your total number of pages. I want to have it in the center, so I'm going to select the second option, and there you go. Okay, and you want to go back to the body, just double click. There you go. I'm back into body, and let me go all the way to the top. Okay, let me just reduce the zoom level, and there you go. Now remember, these special characters that you see, if you print this out, if you have a printout of this now, it will not show it on the paper. Okay, it's only for the screen. Let me turn this off since it might cause disturbance. Okay, next what we want to do is we want to set the margins. Margins are the spaces that you leave from top, from left, right, and the bottom. Okay, so in order to do that, you have to go into layout. Within layout you have page setup. Let's go inside and see what it has. Okay, over here you have margins. Within margins you have the top margins, you have the bottom margin. Let's make that, and that's 1 inch. Okay, if you want to change it into centimeters, all you need to do is just go ahead, remove that, and you can just say cm. Okay, if you want it in inches, you just either type in the double quotes, or you can say in. Okay, both of them work just fine. So I'm going to have as 1.25 inches, sorry, 25 inches for top and bottom, and left and right I'll make it 1.5 and 1.5. Now remember, whenever you are doing the margins, you do not have to select the whole document. Okay, it will automatically apply, it says over here, to the whole document. Okay, paper we would like to have, instead of letter, we want to have it as A4. There you go, that's A4. Click OK, and whatever you have done over here will be applied to the whole document. There you go, that's your margins already set. Okay, so we would like to have a list. Okay, to create a list, all you need to do is, let's say I want a list over here. Click over here, go into the home tab, and you have right in paragraph you have list. Okay, I would like to have a numbered list. Click on this one, and let's say this is item 1, item 1, sorry, I'll call this item 1.2, sorry, I'll call this item 2, and then item 3. Okay, what if I want to have a different kind of, let's say I want to have an ABC instead of this one. All you need to do is highlight, click on the numbered option, click on ABC, and there you have it. Okay, what if you want a list within a list? So let's say it's item 1, and within item 1 I have some more items. Let's say I have item 1.2 and item 1.3. So what you can do is just highlight. Oops, sorry. Let me highlight this again, and you come over here on the top and increase the indent by 1. Just push it once, and there you go. Okay, and if you want, you can change this one into a numbered list. Click on this one, and you can say I would like to have this list. Okay, so now this is a list within a list. You want to take it back. Let's say you can push it back, and automatically it becomes reset to the old list. Let me highlight again and do that again. There you go. Now it's reset to the correct sequence. Okay, next what we want to have is we want to have some table of contents. What is a table of contents? Whenever you start a document, whenever you have a long document, you have your cover page, and right after the cover page you want to have a table of contents that will show you which topic is on which page. Okay, now in order to do that, the first thing you need to do is there are basically 2 steps. The first step is define the styles for your list. So to do that, you click on your list. So you click on your titles, and let's say I want to have this one as the first heading, or heading 1. Okay, this is in the home tab. I want this one as heading 1. Now this is a topic within chapter 1, so I'm going to say introduction will be heading 2. This one is going to be heading 2 again. Okay, this is chapter 2, so I'm going to say make that as heading 1, this one as heading 2, and finally this one as heading 2. And you can have multiple if you want, depending on your requirement. Let's go all the way to the top. Now, since my styles have been set for my titles, next what I want to do is I want to have a new page right after this and before this. So I'll take my mouse, click over here. Okay, since I want a page before this, I'm going to click over here and I'm going to say insert. Within insert, I can either say blank page or I can say page break. So let me go ahead and do a page break. And now if you go right on the top, there you go, that's a page break. Okay, that's a new page. Now what I have to do is take my mouse over here, click, and go into references. Within references, you have table of contents. Select either the first one or the second one. Okay, I'm going to select the first one, and there you go. That's your table of contents. So chapter 1 is on page 2, introduction is on page 2, and that's on page 2. Chapter number 2 is on page 3, and you have your subtopics right over there. So what if I go ahead and change the title of chapter 1 to something else? Okay, document. Okay, introduction, I can say something else. Let's say maybe background. Okay, themes and design. Okay, now once you've done this, let's say I would like to have this one on a separate page. I'm going to come over here, I'm going to say insert, and I'm going to say insert a page break. Now that is on a different page. Now what you need to do is once you have done all the editing that you want, you come back over here, click anywhere inside, and you have update table. Click on update table, and it will give you 2 options: select update entire table, and anything you have made, any changes that you have made to your titles will show over here. Okay, now if you come down over here, you have the status bar. Okay, it will show you how many pages you have, how many words you have, the language that you're working on. What you can also do is just right click, and it gives you all of these options. Okay, let's say I do not want to see my page numbers. all you need to do is just click on this one, and now you don't see your page numbers. Let's say I decide I do want to see my page numbers while I'm typing. I'll click on this one and automatically it'll show you your page numbers. Okay, these are all on and off. Okay, let's say I want to have the line numbers showing as well. Okay, and a word count and character spacing, all of those must be shown. Okay, zoom level is showing as 140, which is just fine. Okay, where's my document? Okay, that's your line number. Okay, right, I'm on line number 10. Okay, so sometimes what happens is you have an extra page and it becomes difficult for you to basically delete it. Let's say I have, by mistake, I entered a few pages, I inserted a few pages. Now how do I get rid of this extra page? I do not even know what's written over here. So where do I start? Now the best thing is, let me just bring it to 100%. The best thing is you go into the home tab, click on the show and hide button. This is where it comes in handy. Click on this one and now you can actually see where your page breaks are. That's a page break. So I can do is click over here, click backspace, and there you go, that's gone. Okay, take this up a bit. That's, again, if I do not want to have this, I can click on this one, come right before this, and I can press the I can press the delete. There you go, that's deleted. That's how you get rid of an extra page. Okay, what we also want to do is we want to have something in the header. Okay, so if you want something in the header, double click. Remember, this part is the header right on top, and that's your footer. Anything that you want to have on every page, you either put it in the header or you put it in the footer. So I would like to have, for example, something in the header. Now what you can do is just bring your mouse over here, double click, and the header will open up. Okay, another way of doing the same thing is you go into insert. Within insert you have header and footer. Let's say I want to have some header and it'll give you a certain format. Okay, you can select this one, for example, and there you go, and then you can say, okay, so MS Word. Okay, and instead of having it on the left side, I would like to have it on the right side. And you can also have the name of the author, maybe, or your name. Okay, I'll make it a little smaller. Instead of having it's 14, I'll just have it at 11. To come back to the body, just double click and you're back in the body. Now you can see this one, the header on every page. Okay, except of course the first page. This we have already defined it as a different page, different first page. What if I just go ahead and remove that? Go into layout, remove different first page, click OK, and now if you go all the way to the top, now you can see it over here. You can also see the page numbers. That's why it's important for you to go ahead into the layout, page setup, and within the layout make that as a first page should be different first page. Check this, click OK, and then go all the way to the top, and there you go. That looks fine. Okay, hope that was a good session. Hope you have learned something from this one, and I'll see you in the next video.